All right. We are live, it looks like on both platforms. What's up, Joe? How are you today?
Doing great, Matt. How are you, my friend?
Awesome. Awesome. So while we wait for people to jump on and start watching, let's play a little intro and then we'll get right into what we're going to cover today. Sound good?
Let's get it.
All right, man.
Matt Curcio has been selling real estate in New Jersey since 2001. He's been recognized as a top 10 individual team leader for RE/MAX multiple times. Matt was the first eXp Realty broker in New Jersey to receive the prestigious Icon Agent Award. Matt is recognized as an industry expert and continues to support agents in the real estate community by hosting trainings for realtors locally and across the country. Welcome to the show, and here's Matt Curcio.
All right. What's up? Here with an expert in New York real estate. More than 1,000 homes and families helped move. So today we're here with Joe Lebron. Joe, how you doing?
Never better, Matt. Doing great.
This is awesome. I love talking to top producing agents everywhere, right? So people locally can get out of their markets and learn what everybody does well. So for those who don't know you, I know your career has been going more than 19 years. So why don't you share a little bit about yourself, your history in real estate, and how you've grown.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. I've been doing this since 2003. I was licensed fresh out of college. Decided college wasn't for me, like many people these days, and decided that I wanted to respond to a local real estate ad in the newspaper about getting a real estate license. And that was something that piqued my interest. Decided to go to school at 21 years old, got the real estate license, passed the first time, and aligned myself in the business with somebody who was a top agent. Decided that I was going to model and, shadow and follow everything that that particular person was doing in the business. And, I'm currently a father of four, and, just this 19-year career has been a fun one. It's, starting out at a young age gave me a lot of time to make mistakes, right? And mess a lot of things up early so that I could learn the business. Needless to say, at 21 years old, not too many people are jumping out excited to, give you real estate to sell or help, or, have you help them buy real estate. So that was a challenge. But full time from day one really made a big difference with that. Being able to be around the business 12, sometimes 15 hours a day in the first 5 or 10 years, and really concentrating on putting all my time and efforts into real estate, into serving my clients, and really learning from some of the top people in the business, whether it's locally and even nationally. Decided to align myself with leaders like yourself, and and become part of different communities of other high producing agents that were serving clients at a high level. And that's something that that's always been a priority to me. Environment and community and being around the right people.
Nice.
So that's just a quick about me. Started the business actually as a taxi agent. I remember when I first started, I didn't have a great car that was worth bragging about. And
Yeah, I remember those days, man. I remember driving up in a pickup truck showing houses and wondering if I was going to lose deals to the guys in the Mercedes or the BMWs. Wet behind the ears. I was 22, I think, when I got licensed, so I totally get it. That's a struggle. That's a struggle for real.
Parking your car around the block from a listing appointment or from a buyer appointment, right at 21 with not much to brag about. But
you got a young guy with you, right, on your team that's doing real well, right? How old is he?
Yeah, Ryan Markowitz. He's actually he's 21. He just turned 21.
Yeah. So he's 20 years old, and he sold a good amount of real estate, right?
He's having a great first year in real estate. Again, like us, is committed full time to the business. So he's always learning, always getting coached, and trained by top people to make sure that he's growing quickly.
Yeah.
So he's serving his clients really well for a first year agent.
Yeah. And that's, I'm going to give you a pat on the back there, man. That's not on accident, right? He's around, you, an expert in the industry and a leader in your market. So let's talk about that a little bit, right? So you're in the New York market. What markets do you serve?
We serve Brooklyn, Staten Island, predominantly Staten Island. About 95% of our business is in Staten Island.
Okay.
We do some business in Brooklyn. Naturally, the migration is from Brooklyn to Staten Island. Homeowners tend to sell their houses in New Jersey, in Brooklyn, and then decide to buy a house in Staten Island before transitioning into New Jersey. So it's either the Brooklyn seller buying in Staten Island, or Staten Island seller that's looking to move, and change their lifestyle, moving into New Jersey around your parts.
Gotcha. So, let's talk about, today I wanted to kind of cover, your process in this market. It's a different market, right? Me and you have been doing this close to the same amount of time. I think I might be a year ahead of you, but that's it. So in this market, it's unheard of. We've never seen anything like this. We had a lot of clients. Yeah, it's an insane market. So what I like to, discuss is how you're getting clients off the fence first, right? So I see it. I've had friends, I'm just going to wait. I'm not doing anything right now. You seem to be doing really well with what you're doing to get clients off the fence, whether it's selling or buying. So let's talk about some of those conversations. Let's focus on the listing side first. So what kind of things are you seeing work and helping get the consumers, mind to the right point and, making that decision to make a move rather than wait, right?
Sure. Well, Matt, something I learned early in my career from one of my first mentors was everybody wants to move. No one wants to sell, right? The idea of selling your home is a very stressful one for most people. I found that naturally that's the case because of a lack of understanding of the process or lack of education, or what I'd like to say, the 5 Ps, right? The 5 Ps, prior preparation prevents poor performance. So, naturally, if you're even considering selling your house, there's a stress that's involved in that. And there's quite a few reasons why people feel that, right? And as a practitioner and as an expert, our job is to remove that fear of moving, and get the client, serve the client before the time comes to move, as well as during the time and even after they move. And some of those practices have really made our clients have successful transitions, whether it's going from Brooklyn to Staten Island or Staten Island to New Jersey. One of the biggest things is, making sure that people are prepared, prior preparation, and that involves a lot of things. At the end of the day, to start, what is the goal, right? The goal is to make that moving process stress-free, and remove that fear of buying or of selling. And in this case, we're talking about sellers. So we'll say that the seller's either deciding they're going to move up in the size of their home. Maybe they have a growing family or even a downsize, right? Maybe they have an empty nest. Maybe they have children that have left the home and now have a big home they don't need anymore. And for most people, as they get into those moments or those seasons of life, it's stressful to figure out, where do I want to be? Do I want a bigger house? Do I want a smaller house? Do I want to stay local? Or do I want to relocate? Right. So a lot of relocation clients and move up buyers and downsizers. That's been the
so you're acting like a coach the whole way. So you're coming in, white glove service, removing that fear from the seller that, oh my God, I got to pack my house. I don't know if I can handle all this stuff. So you guys come in, you got white glove service for the listing side, help them get their home ready. and try to eliminate that fear as best you can. Is that what I'm getting at?
Yeah, and when we talk about the fear of moving, right? What do we mean by fear of moving, right? What's scary, right? What's the stress involved? Well,
Right.
if you own a home and you're going to sell it, there's quite a few fears. What if my house doesn't sell? What if the offers come in too low? Will I net enough money from the sale of my home? Will I regret moving? Right? Is this the right decision for me and my family, for my future? And furthermore, where do I want to live? And can I afford to live there? Right? And then as a seller, you're encountering those fears as a seller, but as a move up buyer or even a move up a downside homeowner who's moving in either direction, now you have to buy a home, right? And so now we have the fears that buyers encounter when they look to make a move, right? What are those fears? Will I find a good deal, right? Am I going to be able to afford my mortgage? Am I going to be able, what is the down payment? Am I going to be able to afford the down payment? Am I going to be happy in the home that I choose? Is this the right decision? Should I wait?
Yeah, so let's touch on that, right? Because that's going on all the time now. And I have sellers that have said, I'm not doing anything until I find a buyer. What if I find a buyer too fast? Then I can't move. I got to sell my house. I don't want to be homeless. So, what's your conversation to a seller that says, I don't want to be homeless? So I'm not going to sell my house right now, even though it financially makes sense. The financials typically make sense, especially today, right? The market's up at a very high point. So financially, they're probably not going to wait to make more money. But what do you say? And then I'll share what I say right now. But to a seller who's like, I just don't want to be homeless. My house will sell in a week, so I don't care. It's just I want to wait.
Well, how do we get them to that point where they quote unquote get off of the fence, right?
Yeah.
Remove the fear. How do we do that? Well, we make them the most informed buyer. First, we choose a market, right? Where would they like to move? If they had a magic wand, right? Tomorrow, if they had a magic wand and they can move anywhere that they'd like, whether it's local or out of town, where is that place, right? So we identify the location that they're going to choose to focus on. And then furthermore, making them the most informed in that market, right? It's not just about, identifying where we want to go, but I think more of that is getting out, touring homes in that area, pricing homes in that area, right? And pricing can be a very big part of this, right? Because
it's a reality check right now, unfortunately.
Especially with taxes, right? Depending on where, we know property taxes are going up rapidly, what here in New York or New Jersey. And as that happens, affordability goes down, right? Because if you have a house, I know, a lot of our clients, one of our recent clients decided to look at a property not down South Jersey near you.
Yeah.
They have property taxes in New York hovering between 5,000 and 6,000, and the property taxes at the destination are between 12,000 and 14,000.
Yeah. Welcome to Jersey. Yeah. And by the way, guy, whoever's watching this, and I don't know what market you might be in, but that's a house in my market, which is near Philadelphia. You're probably talking $400,000, taxes around 10,000 plus, 10 to 15,000. So the affordability affects what that consumer can buy. So you guys are coaching them along the way, saying, look, here's what you can afford. Is it realistic? Once it's realistic, what I like to say to that seller is they're in the driver's seat. So I remind them that, hey, you as a seller are in the driver's seat. So we're never going to sell your house from under you in this market. If you trust my marketing, we're going to get you more than one buyer that's interested in your home. And with that, hopefully we'll have the right buyer that's willing to wait for you to find a home. So staying on the fence and saying, I don't want to move yet, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. You can wait another year. Or you can take advantage of the seller's market, put your home up for sale, make it contingent upon the move. And once you have a buyer that's willing to wait, you're going to be okay. So there, you again, back to what you said at the beginning here, which is remove that fear. right?
You're not a buyer until you're not a seller until you're a buyer. That's what we tell our clients often, right? So if we're going to New Jersey and we're clear on the area that we want to be in, whether it be for schools, usually it's for schools and lifestyle, right? Because naturally there's a different lifestyle in the New York City 5 boroughs than there will be in New Jersey. And being able to understand as a buyer where you can see yourself living, that's the first step to this move up or move down, right?
Yeah.
Whether,
So, and I want to touch on this because this is so different than my market, right? My market, it's just we're going to move. We don't have people like you have to worry about people leaving areas. I'm in that reload. Like we just want a bigger house. We just want a smaller house. You guys, it seems to be kind of like destination realtors where they're selling, whatever beach properties or, where people come into the market and then they leave the market. So that's definitely interesting. And it's a different way of selling real estate because you have to know, and that's where your expertise comes in where, hey, we got to know. And that's probably why you got dual license. Am I right? Because you had so many people going over.
That gives us the ability to help our clients on both sides of the bridge, right? Getting them prepared, like you're a buyer before you're a seller. And what I mean by that, I'll give you a good example of that, Matt. Most of our clients, or many of our clients, as we start this process and coach them on areas and get them out shopping, right? Sometimes we're setting up searches months in advance.
Yeah.
Sometimes up to a year in advance, right? Because making them
that's what I mean is totally different. Like my market, we're moving, you're moving in 90 days. And it's not that whole, like, we need to learn the market first. We need to see, we need to dip our feet and see if the water's warm or not. So
they have no clue about where they're going. So like really getting hyper-focused on studying that market and educating them on not only pricing, but taxes, schools, lifestyle, and really zeroing in on that. Because by the way, if we're not doing that, there are many sites that will do that for them. That once they go on and search, they will start to be bombarded with emails and notifications regularly of, with that particular site, whatever it may be, Zillow, or Realtor.com, educating them, right? Whether they ask for it or not. Yeah. And so if we don't do it, they will. So being able to get there first and that's why the before service is so critical, because the better you or we serve our clients before the time comes for them to move, the more not only loyal they are to you as and choose you as their realtor, but it gives them the ability to digest a lot of the things and the moving parts involved with such a big move. So, and it's different strokes for different folks. Not everybody is buying a bigger house and is concerned about family and schools and lifestyle. Some folks are downsizing and retiring. They're looking at the 55 and up communities and figuring out what type of lifestyle for that chapter is going to look like in their lives. And that could be even more stressful, right? The older we get, the more that fear can take over. So, I mean, a good realtor that wants to provide first-class service is going to earn their commission or most of it prior to the time the move comes, right? One of the best things we can do to prepare our clients is go to work for them before they hire us, right? Oftentimes we're serving clients without contracts months, even up to a year prior to them actually. See, that before period is probably the most critical, at least in my market. Yeah. Because that's the time that they need you the most to help them engineer or reverse engineer. What's it going to look like there? What is the travel like? What is it going to cost me dollar for dollar, right? Not just, I'm going to take this amount of money from my property I'm selling and I'm going to apply it to the purchase over there, whether it be a cash or getting another mortgage, but making sure that they actually qualify for another mortgage. You'd be really, I don't know, you might see this as well often, Matt, but I noticed that a lot of people believe that because they have a $300,000 or $400,000 mortgage currently, and they've been making payments on it for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, whatever, that automatically qualifies them for another $300,000 or $400,000 mortgage on the purchase side, and it's just not true, right? The truth is, the bank doesn't care that you've been paying your mortgage so much as they believe, are you going to pay the next mortgage? And just because you qualified for that mortgage on the purchase, you could have been working full time and now you're retired. You could have been making up much more money, and now maybe your expenses have gone up. So you make that same amount of money, but you don't keep it all, right? Maybe you have children that are absorbing a lot of that cost of living. So being able to get all of those figures in alignment before listing their house for sale and even before making offers, that's some of the best work we can do.
Yeah.
Because at that point, here's what we want from the client. We want clarity, right? We want it to be very clear as to what this is going to look like in the destination, and when we get there, what that happy ending looks like. We also want them to be comfortable with the process, right?
Yeah.
And we want them to be confident that not only are we the right person to help them, Matt, but is what they're doing going to work, and is the outcome going to be a real outcome that they can expect and have confidence in it, right? So those three C's: clarity, confidence, being comfortable. A lot of that is involved prior to putting us on the market, prior to putting an offer out. And one of the best calls that we get often is as we're involved in this before process, right? And we're coaching them along with the move. We'll often get a call where, let's just say, Bob was in New Jersey viewing some homes, maybe stopped at a few open houses. They've been doing this for months, and they fall in love, right? And they find that home that, they see themselves living in. They visited it. They tried it on for size. It's like leasing a car or buying a pair of shoes. You want to take it for a test drive, or you want to try the shoes on, see how they feel, see how they look. When they're out shopping with our guidance and direction, they know when they're ready. They'll tell you when they're ready, when this is done correctly. And I usually get the call. They're on the bridge, or they're on Athos Bridge, or on the Turnpike or Parkway coming back, and they say, "We found a house. This is the one. We're sure of it. We're all we've picked out our bedrooms, picked out our, it's a go. And we need you to come by and list the house for sale tonight or Monday morning, because we made an offer, or we want to make an offer, but it's going to be, like you said, contingent upon the sale of our home. And oftentimes in this market, that's not even a realistic term to.
Unfortunately, those people, and that's where we, back to the getting them off the fence. That's why an educator like you, wants to take control of the conversation, take control of the situation, and get them, in the right position to make an offer, right?
I want them to know what I
in today's market, you can't. We just can't wait anymore. Like, if you're a seller considering selling, or a buyer considering buying, like, make sure you're qualified. Sellers, you have to have your house ready for, to be listed and under contract. We're having, I'm sure you're doing it too, but we're having people lose offers just because they have, and they might even have a contract on their house, which, while it's a hidden contingency, it's still contingent on you getting your cash. So definitely working with experts like yourself, your team, will, and doing it in advance with experts who've closed, 1,000+ homes. That's going to set these sellers up. So for the realtors looking on the buy side, Joe, what are you guys doing on the buy side when people say, oh, the interest rates, I'm sorry, not the interest rates, but the prices are going up? What's some of the best things you can say to a realtor, or give to a realtor for advice on how to talk to that consumer who says, oh, I'm going to wait till the market crashes? I don't believe it's going to crash, but that's one of the things I say. But what do you say to somebody who's?
Yeah, the market's volatile, so we don't know whether it's going to go this way or that way. But I think that, just having that conversation as a human being and realizing why are they considering a move, right? Because the why is the biggest component to this. If the reasons for the move are clear enough, and and valuable enough, if where you are versus where you're looking to be presents enough value in that exchange, then it's really going to come down to payment. Okay, the
Yeah.
price is very irrelevant.
Yeah.
Price is, you live in the payment. You
Yeah.
don't live in the price unless you're an investor. If you're an investor and you're looking to buy a home, fix it up, flip it, and forget about it, absolutely, price is the number one indication if you should proceed or if you should pull out. However, our clients are mainly buying and selling for personal use. So, with that said, um, the price isn't as relevant. If you're going to stay in the house 3, 4, 5 years plus, the price doesn't have that much bearing on the decision. It's really what the payment's going to be. So
And that's it.
we try to get our clients to focus less on what the price is going to be, and really what the payment and what the lifestyle for that payment is going to do in exchange.
Yeah. And that's a great point, because a lot of realtors don't do that. They just, oh, what's your price range? 3 to 400. Okay, cool. Well, I teach my team the same thing, what you're saying. Well, what does that mean on a monthly basis to you? Where are you reading your information? Did you talk to a lender and figure out, or are you just, typing it in online somewhere and it says your payment's going to be this, but it doesn't have the taxes built in, right? And when people come to me in my market and say, hey, we want the taxes, here, I always say, but what do you care about taxes for? Are you paying it all? If you're paying cash, cool. If you're not paying cash, let's focus on payment, because there's an affordability to your monthly living expenses. And that's what you should be focused on. And different townships, different houses, different price points are going to all have fluctuating taxes. So let's just, see where it falls depending on what you like in a home. And then once you have that information and can share that with that consumer, and educate them that, hey, you may not just want to focus on your taxes being under this certain dollar amount. The other town might be 20, 30,000 more, which equates to X amount more in taxes or less. And so that's kind of what I do on the buy side of getting them off the fence.
You do the math.
Yeah, it's
You do the math.
we get a calculator, a mortgage calculator, and just say, guys, here's what you should focus on. It's monthly expenses. If you're paying your house off and you only are paying taxes, which I don't know, out of 50 deals last year, I might have had 2 cash transactions, 3 cash transactions. So, those people, first of all, they didn't even ask about the taxes. It is what it is. But that might help some of the realtors watching get buyers off the fence. Educate them, focus on monthly payment. Great call on that. So,
Matt, another thing that I want to mention too is, the higher the practitioner, the more they understand what I'm about to say. But as much as they want us over, a client hires us to, guide them in the market and be their coach, right? And make sure that they understand where they're going and what they're getting into. But I think that one of the highest skills that a realtor could have is not just so much letting them know what they need to do and how to go about it, but being able to foresee potential issues down the line and avoiding that before the process starts. I think that oftentimes people start the process without evaluating so many other compensating factors, that things that can go wrong. And what we don't want is them to go wrong in the middle of the transaction. And being prepared for that prior to, I would almost compare this to the way an underwriter for a bank operates, right? Oftentimes the underwriter is looking at the file before it gets approved, right, and gets sent in, and they want to pick the file apart. They want to figure out, how can I deny this loan? And if there's no way to deny the loan, it's a good loan.
yeah.
A good realtor is able to figure out, well, if we go down this road, what are some things that can sneak up on us that we could possibly not be prepared for? And let's prepare for them prior to. Let's have a plan A that we're going to begin with. But if we have to execute a plan B or a plan C, being able to know that up front and prepare for potential issues that not only saves time, but it saves them money,
Yeah.
and that stress and fear, it's minimized a lot more going into this. And it obviously it raises their confidence level, and makes them more comfortable with what's about to happen. Oftentimes we get, I take over clients that have been with, that have worked with other people and have come to share with me that, maybe they weren't advised as to some things that they need to be aware of that could happen. And had they known, they either wouldn't have sold, or they would have changed or decided to do things differently. Even with markets, advising how markets are throughout the year, right? There's a spring market,
Yeah.
there's a fall market, and we know those two times in between, summer and winter, they could be either less inventory, more inventory, and how that affects them buying and how that affects them selling is a critical component to this, because you'll often find that someone sells their house and there's nowhere for them to go. They can't find a home, and it could sometimes be the time of year that they decided to do this, right?
Yeah.
That inventory dips down in the summer a little bit, and it dips down naturally this time of the year, well, January, February, until the snow clears up, right? Depending on how much snow we get. So I think taking all that into consideration early really helps the process.
Awesome. Yeah. And I would agree. And again, to me, that what you're saying just speaks to who you work with matters. If you're a buyer or seller in the market, seek out the experts. Find out the people that are experts in selling in the market you're buying or selling in, and run the numbers, see that they're active full time and all that stuff, and you should be in good hands.
Right.
So we were also going to cover, today a little bit about, getting referrals, creating referrals during and after the sale. Your team does a good job at this. So give a couple things that you guys do that really helps you connect with the consumer to gain those referrals during and after the sale.
Really, it's a relationship business. It's not a transaction business. Too many agents are very concentrating on being there for the customer when it's time, right? Call me when you want to buy. Call me when you want to sell. And I think that as we foster these relationships and build value for the clients that we serve before the time starts, that's when the relationships really, really grow. And that trust is built. People do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And I think that opportunity before we begin the process is when we build a lot of trust and a lot of, they get to know us, they get to know our intentions, they get to feel how we handle our clients, and that we're very relational, right? We want to get involved with what's going on with the family and understand, how we can help them not only with their family, but maybe even with, their career and understanding, which is the right direction to move in. Not everybody after meeting with us decides that, you could think that it's time to move and then have a very in-depth conversation and realize that it's probably not the right time for you.
And the fact that you're willing to say that to them, hey, look, to me, it doesn't seem like it's the right time.
Right.
So
And
now you're the expert, right? Now you've educated them, and then you can ask. And since you're, I like to call it top of mind during the transaction, and immediately following. So you're that top of mind realtor, and at that point, are you guys asking for?
And we ask for them. Yes, we ask. Who else do you know that is looking to do something that you're looking to do, right? Who else is looking to upgrade their lifestyle? Who else needs to explore downsizing, right? And people often will do business, like the people that if you have a client that you really like and enjoy working with, the rule is they normally refer people like themselves, right?
Yeah.
People often will send you people who are a lot like themselves. So anytime we have a client that we really enjoy working with, that's one of the things that we want to focus on, is not only just being their realtor and helping guide them, and be there for them, but their family and friends getting that same level of service, whether they decide to sell or buy or not, but giving us the opportunity to go to work for them, right? we go to work before we're hired. And so it takes away the pressure. It takes away the salesiness. I don't consider myself a salesman so much as a consultant, and an advisor, right? And if we take the approach that we don't think about us, we don't think about generating income or having a sale or, putting together another transaction. If we really focus on what's the best thing for this person in their life and how can we bring value to them in their life, not only will we ask and get referrals from them, but oftentimes they'll refer you people without asking. And that's because, when you have a great realtor or a great mortgage lender or an attorney, we live in a referral world.
Yeah.
That's the world we live in. So
yep. Connectors,
whether you like it or not, they're talking about you. And they say people will talk about you 7 times for doing something good, and I think like 15 times for doing something bad. So, as you continue to serve them and love on them, they share this in their circles, whether they're at work, whether they're at church, whether they're at family gatherings. You come up, and if, when we speak to our clients and we kind of, I guess you could say, push them on how we can help their family, friends, colleagues. It's really a very simple dialogue. Like if you know somebody that can appreciate this level of service before they decide to actually consider a move, please refer them to us so that we can take excellent care of them on your behalf. And we make them look like rock stars. They get the thanks for this.
right?
We're thankful that we get to help more people. However, we make them. So I think being clear on how you work and being a relationship focused realtor versus a transaction focused realtor will have you coaching your clients to contact you prior to all of this. And that's when the glue, that's the glue to the relationship, is getting them ready, getting them psychologically ready, financially ready, getting them prepared for the house. The buyers and sellers don't realize that they need you more prior to the time they're ready to do this. And they actually, well, maybe not more, but just as much before as during. And then the after, it, kind of takes care of itself.
Gotcha. So, and for me, what we do to generate a little bit during and post sale, we follow up, we stay in touch, we remind them, what we're doing while we're doing it, all the steps that are involved. And we just ask for, hey, who do you know? Who do you know who's considering buying or selling now or in the near future? So man, I appreciate the information here today. For those who are looking, they see us with the same shirt on here. What made you make the move over to Real Broker?
Well, it's pretty simple, Matt. I was looking for the right environment, the right culture, the right company core values that resonate with myself, my business, our team, and who we are.
Yeah.
It just made a lot of sense, not only financially, but to me, environment is stronger than will. And if you're in the right environment, that will you to be able to help more people and to be able to serve more clients. And I just really was attracted to not only our model, but more importantly is our core values. We have some of them up here.
Yeah, I love it, man. Work hard, be kind. Number one. I love that one.
Work hard, be kind, simply great service, embrace, resolve, evolve, and make a difference. And those things really resonate with me and, my family and our team here.
Yeah. And the one that, the building your future together, that was big. And I went, I interviewed Erin, one of the people who helped create the core values for the company. And the way she said it was like, hey, we're here to help build realtors, their families, and the realtors should be helping their clients build their futures together. So that's what this company stands for. And I really, it resonated with me when it was time for me to make a move. And, that's what the core values were first. Obviously, there's a cost to each brokerage. And to me, this is a great splits, no monthly costs, and the extra revenue sources, right? So to me, having that stock purchase, and award program along with the revenue share, those two things have become hot in our industry, right? So what did you like out of those couple things? What was your favorite, or what is your favorite now when you're here?
Well, I run a team now, and I consider my agents partners. Even whether I'm talking to them or speaking of them, we're partners. Okay, I may lead the team, but at the end of the day, we're partners. And I think being with a company that wants to partner with its agents on its growth and be able to give them a stake in the growth of the company has been something we've been interested in for some time. And there's some other companies out there that you could find some type of features, similar features, but they're not all created equally. And just the way that not only can we grow together as team members, but also, grow together with Real Broker and make a difference not only in our clients' business, but also in serving our clients, but also in our own financial future. I appreciate their model with the rev share, and specifically awarding us stock for doing nothing, right? Just for doing what we normally did, what I've done for my entire career, which is go out, be really good at serving clients, and we should be rewarded for that. And so as they grow, we grow, and that's why I like to build. We build our futures together. No agents left behind. That's something that, as a team leader, being able to have that not only for me but also the people I lead, that was critical.
Yeah,
have to show
that's a big opportunity here, right? Traditionally, and you and I come from 20 years in the business, where back when we started, it was franchises only. They were the ones you needed to be with. They held the majority amount of realtors, and the models had changed in real estate to where that's not the case anymore. But nowadays, and then back then, you needed, if you built a team, you needed the team members to stay. And there was really no future for them other than leaving your team. And what if they want to be a team leader? Well, this model has solved that, because here we want to help you grow your business and grow off our teams. And we're still incented to help you and, those agents that we help grow with. It's just a great opportunity, man. So
and
I'm
by
happy
the way,
to do this with you.
being able to be partnered with you and grow this company together, that was a great feature. And some of the other great leaders that we're partnered with, being able to give that to the agents as well, right? Oftentimes in many other franchise models, it's like different strokes from folks, right? If you're a top agent, you get this split. If you're a brand new agent, you get this split. There's incentives for these people, maybe not these people. And I just really like that level playing field where we could not only grow together and help each other, but there's no special treatment. Everyone has the same deal from the top all the way down to the brand new agents, and the community that it creates where agents are willing to share and contribute and give back because of this. It's like empathy over ego. And I've been with some ego companies. I'm sure you have as well.
And I've seen the different realtors that run based on ego, and it's this is a different model. It aligns when for those who are looking at it, man, look at it seriously, because you should really being aligned with a company like this is just a different way of doing business, and it changes when people are. We call it collaboration over competition, whatever you want to call it. There's a bunch of different ways to say it, but in general, it's great to be part of, you're here sharing your knowledge with us. I'm here sharing my knowledge, with you and your team all the time. And it's just so great to see that reciprocated over and over and over. And it's not just because we're in line together, you're here doing it for the company. Me too. I teach classes for the whole company because of our experience.
I've been on a lot of your classes in Real Academy, and you're doing a fantastic job giving back. And that's what I love about this, right? Is that, we don't know what the future holds. But if I were out of the picture tomorrow, or if you were out of the picture tomorrow, and for whatever reason couldn't be there for the people that we lead or our clients, we have an environment and an infrastructure that can really help to facilitate that, whether we're around or not. They have help. They have systems. They have training. They have an environment that can really take over in the event that we may not be available for a moment for them, whether we're away on vacation or whatever that looks like in the future. That being able to on that is huge.
It's awesome, and my broker is extremely supportive. For New Jersey, Celinda is awesome in New York.
Definitely. Celinda is the best broker I've ever dealt with in New York. I mean, I had some great brokers over my 20-year career that I partnered with, but nobody's like Celinda. Her empathy level is the highest that I have seen, and there really is no ego. And that to me, one of the biggest things that I've noticed with brokers is they lead with ego. And to find a broker, even Eric in New Jersey, our brokers are very empathy oriented, and they just want to help, and they're constantly providing that elevated environment, and it's getting better every week, every month. So I love that.
Man. Awesome. All right, Joe. Well, we're coming up time to wrap it up. Any last comments for anybody out there? Appreciate you sharing how you operate your business. So
sure. Yeah. Well, any last words would be, whether you're looking to buy or sell, obviously we can help you. But for realtors out there that are just looking for more and a better way to grow their business, they should give us a call and let us explain what's going on here differently than where they may be. And maybe it's a fit, maybe it's not. But just knowing all the information right before you say yes or no, this is for me, is critical. And so I just want to leave that out there, that don't believe what you see or hear. Go to the source and find out. I'm sure that you'd provide a lot of value. I would love to help anybody that's really looking to explore what's going on here with Real.
Yeah, man. And hey, man, it's awesome being in business with you. I appreciate it. So, Joe, we will be in touch again. Appreciate the info.
Appreciate you, Matt. Thank you, brother.
All right, man. Later.
Keep crushing it.